Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 73 of your favorite podcast in the history of the universe, Survival of the Fitted. I'm your favorite co-host in the world, Joe Williams, a.k.a. Diet Coke Druski. None other than Ian Pierno in the building, and we got a very, very, very special guest. Would you like to take the floor and introduce yourself, sir?
What's up, everybody? I'm Mark from The Incorporated, creative director and owner and everything else.
So
Cool Sky Live.
Is that fun? Like getting to because if you start a brand, you kind of get to pick your title.
Yeah, CEO, owner, champion.
And you picked creative director. That's like you could apply for a creative director job on LinkedIn. You should be like creative czar or something, creative pharaoh.
That's true. But when I started doing this many years ago, I decided I wanted to be a creative director, and now it's like a cool thing. But
yeah. Oh, so you were ahead of the wave.
Way ahead. Yeah.
Okay, respect. I mean, time traveling has kind of been the theme of this episode anyway. If you know, you know. But for you guys that don't know, Mark's brand, The Incorporated, if you see like something sick on LeagueFits, especially if it was styled by me, there's like a 90% chance there's at least one Incorporated piece a part of it. You're my favorite designer. Don't let it get to your head, but you are my favorite designer. And I think the day you became my favorite designer was when I had the idea. I'd seen an outfit that you had made for Giveon, and it was like this 2-piece set that was super oversized, and I couldn't quite figure out like what the fabric was, but the fabric made it, right? That's what made the outfit cool. But I was like, what the hell is that? So I was like, yo, dude, I want to make something similar for Miles. And then you kind of took me on this journey in downtown LA. It might be better if you provide the context and tell the story here.
Yeah, absolutely. So when I first was coming down to LA looking for fabric, the first fabric store that I ever went into was this basically piles of rolls of fabric, barely could be named a store, but it's run by this 85-year-old guy named Saeed. And he's got all these old fabrics that have basically not been touched since the 70s or 80s. And he has just this amazing combination of like upholstery fabrics and car seat fabrics and rugs and all sorts of crazy stuff that I started turning into clothes. And it's become like a huge part of the brand. He's like a great friend of mine. And yeah, it's my favorite spot in the world. Unitex Fabrics. It's on Maple Street downtown in the fashion district.
That sounds right. Yeah, fashion district. It was right by my old apartment actually. But I remember pulling up and like to provide context, like I kind of want to paint this. Like you walk in and it's not that big. Like it's maybe like 1,000 square feet. But like from the floor to the ceiling is just fabrics. And like you even said, you're like some of these, like you were like, nobody has definitely touched in like 30 years. Like you're stepping over stuff, you're squeezing between things, like everywhere. And it's every fabric used to make everything except clothes. So It's funny because we ended up doing that outfit for Miles. And people were hitting me up and being like, and even just like in the Instagram comments, they're like, Miles wearing his grandma couch. And that probably was the leftover materials from somebody's couch.
That's the whole thing. Yeah. I've been calling them the grandma's couch fabrics or suits or whatever they are for years. And most of the time when people see them, they're like, oh yeah, this looks like a couch. And I was like, you totally get it.
Right. Because it literally could be. And so you've dressed Miles, you've dressed Thanasis, also a bunch of other NBA guys. But even like some like really, really famous people like I do, because I'm like, oh man, like thanks for shouting me out for like, because I styled Thanasis and something, and then your next post is like Billie Eilish.
Yeah, we've been lucky enough I've been lucky enough to just connect with a bunch of stylists in the last like 5 years that I've been down here, because they always need weird stuff, and that's kind of what I do. So yeah, we've done a bunch of famouses, Bad Bunny,
a bunch of famouses. Yes,
Kylie Jenner. There's a long list, but yeah, I totally get a kick out of the basketball players and athletes and kind of the different stuff, because that's more the world that I grew up in. I didn't grow up a Billie Eilish fan, so
valid.
she's great, and I am a Billie Eilish fan now. But yeah, the NBA players specifically, because basketball is my favorite sport, has been like a super cool thing that I just want to keep building and building.
And I think I know why basketball is one of your favorite sports, and I'll touch on that in a second. Because we talked about how you make all these clothes kind of out of like untraditional fabrics and garments and things like that. But some of like the ready to wear pieces are the t-shirts, which I'm wearing one right now. You're wearing one right now. Joe is not wearing one right now. Instead, he looks like Diet Coke Druski with his vest on. Diet Coke Druski. Druski permanently killed vests, right? Like vests will not be cool for a really long time, right? Like non-puffy vests, like you can't like wear that anymore.
Tactical vests.
So part of the reason that basketball is your favorite sport, though, is because you're 6'4". And you can kind of tell, like when I look for the perfect t-shirt, because it's so hard to find like a perfect t-shirt, right? Because they're all advertised as oversized, but they're really not, or boxy, but they're really not. Tell me, like, how did you make your t-shirts fit so perfectly?
My secret is to make them way too big. And I think there's a disease of all humans that they wear too small clothes, especially t-shirts. And I want to cure it by offering t-shirts that are all way too big. So our smallest t-shirt fits like your average like men's large. So essentially I make everything to fit me and then hope that it looks cool on everyone else, most of whom are smaller than me. So that's the secret. And it's working so far. I'm sure a ton of people get their orders from our online store and are like, what the hell is this? It is a giant shirt.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad to hear that, though.
Too many of them haven't sent it back. So
right. No, it's the perfect t-shirt. And if you don't want Mark to make you a custom made couch to wear, a t-shirt's a good way to go, and you'll be pleased. Speaking of couches, though, we mentioned you've dressed so many cool people in couches. So you love putting guys in couches. Is there any like basketball players specifically that you haven't put in a couch yet that you think it would be cool?
Yeah, I think Devin Booker would look great in a couch. My all-time person that I want to put some clothes on, he's not active, but would be Allen Iverson. Whenever anybody asks like who are my dream people to dress, it's never like A$AP Rocky or Travis Scott or anything. It's Ken Griffey Jr. and Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
So yeah, those would be a start. But someday everybody in the world will be wearing a couch.
I love that.
Wow.
And it's also like sustainability 101.
Totally. Yeah.
I think.
It's garbage. They are nobody.
It really is. Like, oh my God. Like, I wish like on a podcast you really can't personify Saeed's store. Like you walk in there, dude, and like your eyes water a little bit. Like it's so dusty. Like it is like the most random hole in the wall, perfect place in the world. Wait, speaking of perfect places, isn't he, because your guys' relationship goes like a little bit beyond like just buying stuff.
Yeah,
right?
he's like he's my BFF. I try and keep him. He always is losing his scissors, so I go and every time I go in there, I buy him a new pair of scissors because he always leaves them around. His wife makes this lunch, and we'll like sit down, and he'll like put his little tablecloth out, and we eat lunch together. It's he's just the very best in the world. I try and give him all the business. He also happens to be trying to find me a wife.
Right.
He has a business card with my name and number on it, and he, I think, is really working on getting me married, which I appreciate because I'm not putting in the same amount of effort.
It's okay.
Is there any way you could add my name and number to that business card too?
I will absolutely. I'll screenshot it right now. Give a little headshot.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, I mean, business cards. Like, I didn't even think business cards were a thing anymore. But for finding romance, that's the way.
He's had the same stack in the same thickness on his desk.
Man.
Well, not grabbing.
No one picked a business card, huh?
Not quite.
A for effort, though. We got to talk about the NBA Finals because that's what's going on. And one thing is like me and Joe have been talking about the playoffs like for months, obviously. And we're always like, man, we hope like a team cooler than the Warriors maybe makes the finals in the Western Conference, just because like they're kind of the swagless superstars. Like, their 3 all-stars aren't really known for fashion. Stephen Curry has like had like some like cool outfits lately, but like nothing that like, would really catch your eyes. So if you were tasked game 7, Stephen Curry's like, I need an outfit, no other guidance, what do you make him?
So for him, I like to see him be pretty business and pretty focused on the game. So I would definitely do some sort of upholstery, but very low key, monochromatic, fitted on the top. We could definitely do a bigger pair of pants.
Yeah, got to cover up those Under Armour shoes.
Although, have you noticed that kids wear those? Like, they're very popular with kids. You couldn't.
100%.
Oh, like kids,
100%.
like YMCA, like 8-year-old kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Kids love those shoes, and
Respect.
that's crazy because I would have never worn a pair of Under Armour shoes when I was a child. But
yeah, me neither.
Totally working. But yeah, definitely something that is a little bit more adventurous than he likes to get, but I want to keep him focused on dropping those threes.
Okay. So honesty hour, like, you my boy. You the man, Mark, but you sound, Joe and I have like a least favorite Instagram comment. Joe, I think you could probably say it without even me saying it.
Least favorite Instagram comment, they need to be more focused on the game, not their fit. Or what is it? If they put as much thought into their outfit.
No, if they put as much thought into the game as they did their outfit, they'd be better. They're like, maybe Kuz would have hit a few more threes if he wasn't thinking about his outfit so much. And I think that's what you just said, bro. And I can't lie, I'm so disappointed. Way. You are literally the bot people from Iowa that are like, it's like Kyle with the fish and an American flag emoji in his bio. They're like, maybe he would have hit next year. Maybe Devin Booker would have scored a few more points if he didn't wear a Prada tie to the game.
If he's worried about his shoes.
You think you know somebody. You think you know somebody.
I have heard.
You don't really know them.
You remember that Prada outfit that Ben Simmons wore? It was the green one.
The green one. The lambskin.
Man, I have heard so many people bring that fucking jacket up. And it was a bad look for him. But that's it depends on the player. For sure.
Yeah.
If there's,
I'm an example based.
If they're dressed super swaggy, I know that they're about to play super swaggy. However, if Giannis was coming in wearing some crazy outfit, something's off. Something's going wrong. So I am like partly your least favorite person.
Okay, so it's like a case by case basis type of situation here.
Absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense, because even like Stephen Curry showed up wearing like a pair of Ricks earlier in the playoffs, and me and Joe were like, we love Rick. Rick is like probably like our favorite high end brand, right, Joe? Top 3 for both. It's on both of our Mount Rushmores. Rick. It's like Mark McGinnis.
As Joe, I can confirm this. Yes.
Yeah. And we were like, damn, like this is kind of awkward. This is kind of weird to look at. You know what I mean?
We're wrong.
Yeah. So I guess you might be making a point, but like I'm an example-based person. If there was like give us like an example, because I'm like an example-based person. If there was like a player that show up in like a crazy outfit and you know that they're like definitely going for like 40, 50 that night, who would it be? Who's like the anti Giannis, anti Steph?
Easy answer would be James Harden, my favorite active player, second favorite player of all time.
What?
James Harden.
Such a weird choice.
Well, James Harden is your favorite basketball player.
Absolutely. I could watch him step back or get fouled every play of every basketball game.
Why? No. Like I need like a full explanation to why
everyone
James Harden.
It's a hot take.
Defend yourself.
The situation is growing up a Sonics fan and then having the Sonics taken away from me made me want to see the league burn. And James Harden is the most chaotic player I've ever seen, both on and off the court. Well, he just stirs everyone up. I don't think he's actually that messy off the court. But I'm kind of like an NBA fan joker.
You just want to see chaos.
I just want it to all go down. So yeah, he brings all the mess, and I love it. Plus, I love his game. Plus, he's filthy.
Yeah.
One of the top scorers of all time. Plus, he's a little thick, which is huge for me.
Whoa. Goodness gracious, Mark. Where did that come from?
Survival of the fitted after dark. Let's go.
We really earned our explicit tag this week.
That's
crazy.
I love him.
No, respects. Because were you kind of a pudgy kid?
I was indeed.
Is James Harden pudgy though?
Huge way to my heart. If you're slow and a little chubby and good at sports, I'm most likely a gigantic fan.
Okay. Question then. Is James Harden the slowest fast player in the NBA or the fastest slow player in the NBA?
I think he would definitely be the fastest slow player. Yeah.
Okay. So he is the king of the slow.
Yeah. Because those first few steps are super fast, but then he's got that low gear.
Like the 0 to 60, the 0 to 60 is pretty good, but once he hits 60, he's not going much faster.
Not going a bunch faster.
Okay. That makes sense. No, he doesn't have to. I love that you root for chaos. I'm a Displaced Supersonics fan too. Like when I play 2K, like I just do the expansion feature and I download the Sonics and put all the LeagueFits players on there. So I also root for chaos. Like one team is up 3-2 in the series, I'm rooting for the team that's down 3-2. You know what I mean? I just want, like, if there's a trade that could go through, I want it to happen. I just want to see what would happen if Ben Simmons was on the Nets. You know what I mean? Yeah, my rooting, we're similar sports fans.
Yeah.
We're both villains. Super villains.
Yeah.
Super gremlins.
It's entertainment. Chaos is entertainment.
Yeah. And
some people just want to watch the world burn.
And
that's what it is.
Yeah. All
Adam Silver's world.
Get mad at me because they have like teams that they can root for years and they've got like shit writing on it. And that all broke down for me. So I don't care. I just want to see the most points and the most gnarly plays. Doesn't matter to me. I'm a player.
So
I'm a player per team or person.
That's fair. Who was the person who sold the Supersonics? Because I don't know if they understand the damage that they've done.
Okay, his name is Howard Schultz. He started a piece of art.
I like to think that you have his face on a board.
Just fuck like Howard Schultz till it's backwards. We can cuss on this podcast. Fuck Howard Schultz.
A couple of months ago, my friend got married to this gal who's got a lot. Well, her parents live next to Howard Schultz.
Oh,
wow. They've done well for themselves. And it took everything of all my friends' like power to not like throw things into his yard and leave like nasty messages. We like almost went and knocked on his door and cussed him out because he is the worst.
It is. Starbucks it doesn't hit, right? Like Starbucks just doesn't hit right.
So he's a CEO of Starbucks. Is that what I'm
so he's
reading?
Like the owner or whatever of Starbucks, and he sold the team. History lesson, Joe. He sold the team, and basically the plan was he was going to sell it to someone who would keep the team in Seattle. That was like originally supposed to be part of the agreement, and then he sold them to someone who moved the team to Oklahoma City. And Seattle is like a great basketball market.
Okay, so I did my Googles real quick. So that guy, Howard, whatever his face is like whatever the owner of Starbucks. And Vin Baker, who was a player on the Supersonics, also after he retired worked out of Starbucks. Interesting to think about. I wonder if there's like a he retired and
Starbucks.
Yeah, he retired and he was down bad, so he started becoming a Starbucks manager. That's what I'm reading here. Blew $100 million word to addiction.
I have a feeling we might talk about Vin Baker again later.
Oh my God. I did not realize.
You see the theory I just stringed together? Goodness gracious, guys. It was crazy.
I didn't realize that Vin was down that bad.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he had like a desk job at Starbucks, but no, he was grinding the beans. That's rough.
Yeah,
well, shout out Vin Baker. Love him.
Yeah, shout out Vin Baker. Shout out slow basketball players.
Basketball icon.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Shout out all the slow guys.
Shout out Kyle Anderson. How do you feel about Kyle Anderson?
I don't like getting that. Well, I wasn't a fan until this playoffs. And then I was like, he is way better at basketball than he looks.
Yeah.
And now I'm impressed. It always turns out that whatever, with a few exceptions, whoever I'm like, I hate at the beginning of when I find their game, I always end up respecting it by the end.
Dude, I'm like that
few
too.
Exceptions.
That's fair.
But usually they win me over.
Dude, we should be the new host of First Take, like this trio right here. Like this is really like interesting basketball conversation. Like, is James Harden fat and fast or fat and slow? Like,
there we go.
I love this. You brought up Vin Baker. I have the most random Vin Baker story ever. So before I did like LeagueFits and all that, I worked in AAU. I lived in North Carolina at the time. So I worked for
He brings
John.
this up every episode.
That's not true. I'm from North Carolina.
Okay.
That's not true. I worked for John Wall's AAU team, and we were at this tournament. And like, you know, it's like an 8 a.m. auxiliary gym game. You know what I mean? And we're playing like this mom and pop team. And they suck. They're horrible. Like we win by like 40. But there's this one kid just hitting like turnaround mid-range shots and like crazy shit. Like the kid's just like destroying us. Like he has like 35 and his team has like 40. And so our like coach, like director guy goes over to his kid after the game. He's like, who the fuck is your daddy? And why is he letting you play for that bum ass team? And the kid goes, oh, my name is Vin Baker Jr. And he was like Vin Baker's son. He was playing for like this like super trashy AAU team. But anyway, they ended up like hooking him up and he ended up going to like Boston College through like Peter guy. But it was like the most it was like the most like it was like pick an NBA player's name out of a hat type thing. It was like, oh yeah, Vin Baker. He's like, who's your daddy? Where? He was like, is your daddy here? I want to talk to him because he's being like, we got to get you off this team. He's like, oh yeah, it's Vin Baker. I'm Vin Baker Jr.
That's kick ass. I would love to meet any ex Sonic is like my favorite person ever. Do you know who Robert Swift is?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
You need to Google Robert Swift.
Yeah.
He's the craziest looking basketball player in the history of the NBA. And I saw him at a bar one time. And it was the most exciting thing. He walked in with Nick Collison.
Oh, I know this guy.
I've ever been in my life.
Did you say anything?
No.
Or is this story? Oh, the story that you saw them?
Yeah, that's the whole story. That's when it comes to Sonics, that's like as good as it gets.
Yeah, I was gonna say some people fanboy over like you could fanboy over Billie Eilish and Bad Bunny and YG, and you're like, nah, that was cool or whatever. But Robert Swift and Nick Collison did it. That's when I was left speechless.
Drafted at 18, and then he has the craziest visual transformation of any NBA player of all time. He went from like this redheaded, like he was still redheaded at the end, but he just got tattoos everywhere. He looked like a villain.
Yeah.
Not particularly good at basketball, but
shit, the check's cleared.
They did.
He's an OG nail polish guy. He was like one of the OG guys who was like wearing nail polish after Dennis Rodman.
Oh, yeah.
He was on
right. Man, that's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, if you want to talk about weird Sonics all day, I could. Yeah.
So are you rooting for Gary Payton Jr. then in this series?
Absolutely.
Same.
Yeah, I never thought I would be rooting for the Warriors, but I'm on it now.
Until the Warriors are up, well, I guess it's 2-1 now. So when the Warriors go up 3-2, you'll root for Boston though, just to see 7 games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Always
that's
wanted
kind of the way I am.
Shot. Always wanted to, go right to the end. But I'm rooting for the Warriors, which is really weird.
That's what's up. I've even felt like a little bit of an attachment to Gary Payton, and I'm not like old enough to like remember watching Gary Payton. Like I remember like KD's rookie year. Like that's like when I had like watched the Sonics.
Yeah, I guess I'm older than you.
Yeah.
In '96, we had Ken Griffey Jr., Alex Rodriguez, Randy Johnson, Gary Payton, and Sean Kemp all playing in Seattle.
That's so epic.
Yeah.
See, my
like Starbucks and Microsoft. So Seattle and
Amazon, like early Amazon.
Well, yeah, I mean, they were selling books. It wasn't all that.
Oh yeah,
but
true. Yeah,
Seattle was like the epicenter of the world.
It was. See, my Seattle sports icon is Ichiro.
Sick.
Like when I was a kid, we would go to the games just because like Mariners games were like cheap. Like Seahawks tickets were expensive. Even Sonics tickets compared to the Mariners tickets were expensive. So we would go and we would sit like in the bleeds at Mariners games. It'd be like Ichiro. So Ichiro is like my favorite athlete ever.
He had the sickest batting stance thing where he would do the little arm out. Yeah, I love Ichiro. I'm a huge Mariners fan. They are the longest reigning team without a championship.
Reigning. All
of professional sports.
Reigning Seattle pun.
Reigns a lot in Seattle.
REIGN.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
What's that? Oh yeah.
Like you said longest reigning. I was like, oh pun, funny pun. But yeah, no, they suck, unfortunately.
Really? They're not good?
Yeah, they have the longest playoff-less streak ever. That's what he was just saying, or active playoff-less streak.
Yeah, I think
which is wild because they've had good players. They had Robinson Cano, they had Felix.
The Browns have gone longer without a championship because they were like 64, but we're the longest that's never won a championship.
Damn.
Sheesh.
But Mariners fans are the 60 because of that fact.
Yeah, facts.
If you're a Mariners fan, I know you're a good person.
You know what they need? You're wearing a Mariners Incorporated hat right now. They need a couch jersey. No functionality whatsoever. But they need they need a couch jersey.
Yeah, that's part of my pitch. I know this looks like fashion, but it's actually we're gonna win a championship as soon as they put these on.
I'm glad we figured it out.
I didn't realize like how closely you associated your clothes to couches. So like hearing you say like, you know who'd look good in a couch? Devin Booker. You know who'd look good in a couch? Luka. You know who'd look good in a couch? The entire Seattle Mariners roster. For some reason, it's just like hilarious. Like if you just take that soundbite out and you're like, I'd like to see Devin Booker in a couch. Luka in a couch too.
I hadn't really exactly said that until Joe just he really changed my perspective on that whole thing. So
I'm glad I could.
Wait.
I'm glad I could.
I mean, I always say the couch fabric thing, but he's wearing a couch. That's now
wearing a couch.
That's the bar. That's the IG bio. That's the pitch
coming
deck.
To LeagueFits caption soon.
Yeah,
you could change your Instagram bio to that. I don't know what it's currently, but you should I put people in couches right there.
And that could be.
It could sound like I chop people up and hide them.
I was gonna say that too. That could be the pickup line when Saeed finds your future wife. She's like, "Hey, I got your business card. Can't really tell what you do," and you're like, "I can put you in one of my couches."
Wow, that's a hell of a line.
And it's one of my couches. She's like, "Damn, how many couches this dude got?" And you're like, "Unlimited, infinite,
crazy."
Technically, I have access to infinite couches, and I can put you in one.
It's like the multi-couch verse.
Multi-couch
something. I don't know.
This one's free, Mark.
I'm writing all of this down.
You can have
all game.
Yeah, because me and Joe love to talk about romance on the pod because we're clearly experts of it. We're both single.
Can't you
but
tell
by
the vest I'm wearing?
We're experts. Okay, we gotta circle back to that. Diet Coke Druski is your funniest. So every week Joe has a nickname.
Yeah.
That's like his thing. And sometimes it's just like not so average Joe or Thursday Joe. Like it can be kind of boring. But Diet Coke Druski, have you seen the outfits that Druski wears, Mark?
They're terrible, Mark.
It's always he needs a couch. Druski got to be put in a couch.
We did one once, but it was not big enough.
It's a large couch.
You made him one?
Yeah, the measurements were off.
Wait, you're telling me that this thing that you make because it can fit anybody. It fits 7'1" Miles Turner. It was still oversized. It wouldn't have worked for Druski.
Well, the Miles Turner would say we did. Basically, the measurements didn't come in right. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they measured wrong or he lied, but apparently
he lied. Lying about measurements is a wild thing to do.
It happens all the time.
No, are you fucking serious?
All the time.
No.
Why would you do that? That's so dumb.
The only person that knows is the guy making it.
It makes you feel better. than if you tell
But
them.
then
And then
you
the product
end up with
comes back and
something
you have
that,
to face reality. Like,
yeah, and it doesn't
that
fucking
sucks.
fit.
Well, it feels good
That's tough.
for a second.
It's a great text to send out. I am a
Is there-
32 waist. Yeah.
Me too. Is there anyone else that like you've had to like? Is that the only person you've ever had to be like, yeah, I actually can't make this. It's wrong.
No, we've had a bunch of shit get fucked up.
Really?
Yeah, it's the worst.
Dude,
But
that's so hard to believe because I know, like the Miles one, like we made out of like you were like, what are his measurements? I'm like, I don't really know. Here's his waist, and here's what Wikipedia says his wingspan is. And we went off of that. So shit has to be really fucked up for it to not work.
That is an awesome thing about dressing NBA players is their measurements are online. It's usually from the draft combine, so it may have changed. But I did one for this dude that I can't talk about yet. But
ooh, tell us, give us a hint.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how big this is. I don't know how crazy their eyes are. Mm-hmm. I don't like spilling secrets. But
well, there's only like 40,000 listeners every week. This is like a pretty big podcast.
That is sick. That's crazy.
It's not true.
Yeah, it's a lie.
It's not true. Not even
lying feels good sometimes.
See, there we go. It's gonna be hard to face the reality tomorrow when this drops and you see the numbers, but it's gonna be a great
40,
lie to say on the air.
Yeah, true.
My mom is gonna be stoked.
Really, your mom's gonna listen to this?
I'm sure.
What do you?
Yeah, my mom's Facebook is our #1 marketing source.
Yeah,
she posts everything on there. She learns about who the celebrities or basketball players or whoever it is the day she posts them. And yeah, her friends go crazy.
I love that. My mom's like that too. My mom's like a diehard Thanasis Antetokounmpo fan now.
Yeah, who's not?
She was like, Thanasis scored tonight, and I'm like, nah. Oh wait, well here you have an open platform. Like, what do you want to say to your mom? Because I mean, you get to talk to her literally anytime you want, but like this is like a new medium. Like you could speak through the upside down. What do you want to tell your mom right now on a podcast?
Well, to be fair, I love her. I love her. She's the best. A lot of times my parents, they're like very involved with the brand. They'll like model for us sometimes, mostly my dad.
I love your dad's fit pics. Your dad is way swaggier than I am.
He's swaggier than I am. And it's in the ass. But yeah, love you, Mom. You're the best. Can't wait to call you right after this and tell you about it. I didn't tell her I was doing this. I was so nervous.
Damn, finally we had a wholesome moment on the pod. We never have wholesome moments because me and Joe are just...
It's chaotic, you know?
Yeah, chaotic. Yeah, you're Batman.
Yeah,
you're not Batman.
It's chaos.
You're maybe the Robert Pattinson Batman. Okay, the NBA draft is coming up. And it's just like draft season in general. Like the NFL draft just happened. Could you make a couch tux, suit, whatever?
Absolutely. I can make
Have you done that yet?
I have not done that.
Can I get married one day in a couch suit?
Hell yeah. I don't know if you're going to get married, but I'll make it.
Whoa!
Wow. Wholesome moment thrown right out the window. That was a tough listen.
Wild sneak diss. He was like, yeah, I would totally be down, but he's like, Saeed's not handing out your business cards.
I'll give your number to Saeed. He'll he'll track someone down.
Sick. So I just get like the women that weren't good enough for you then. I'll settle.
But I have like really high standards, so I'm sure whoever's underneath, they're not bad.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's pretty valid. Okay. Before we go, your 5 top dressed NBA players that you've dressed, and then top 5 that you haven't dressed.
Okay. Do they have to be in order?
Nah, it's just like first team, because you've seen like the LeagueFits Awards just dropped. You should have been on the panel for that. But this is your chance to plug.
Well, we'll start with the sponsored ones. Miles Turner, Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
Kyle Kuzma. Oh, Shai wore some shit in a magazine. He didn't wear it to the game. Just that.
I saw that. No, that counts. That shit was hard as hell. It was like, was it paper mag?
Pause.
Or it was like the highest notoriety. It was highest, I forget. Yeah. That shit was super hard.
Yeah, I love that fit. And then we'll end it with.
Are you looking at like a mood board right now?
I have a list of the NBA players because it's like my main goal.
Gotcha.
And Jason Tatum because he is filthy.
Oh, Tatum wore the jacket. I remember that. I forgot about that one. That was a good one.
Yeah, and then top 5 of like active players currently.
Yeah, you can't say Iverson.
Yeah.
Saying Iverson.
I want to say Iverson as many times as possible. Do you see this? This is a poster, a slam up from my childhood bedroom of Allen Iverson.
That is so hard. And
thanks to you, we have some shit in Slam Magazine, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So for everyone that everyone probably that listens to this pod definitely saw, but Cade Cunningham, I styled Cade for his Slam cover shoot, and he wore the, like, I guess it's like a jumpsuit, you would call it. Yeah. He wore like a jumpsuit, and it's ironically, it was a Detroit themed shoot, or it was supposed to be. But in the jumpsuit just says like based in Seattle, created in Seattle, based in Los Angeles all over it. But yeah, you made that.
I made that.
It was super random. Whenever like I have like a really random clothing request, I'm like, I feel like Mark might have it. Because I think I hit you up like the night before and was like, do you have anything that could pass for a mechanic? And you sent me like multiple options.
Yeah, I have a giant pile over here in the studio, and there's always something in there.
Yeah. Whenever I pop over to, whether it's to return something, pick something up, I always end up grabbing or wanting to grab something that I had no plans to. Okay. Sorry, I totally interrupted you though. Your list of 5 guys, not including Iverson and Rodman.
I do like Devin Booker's. I like Juan Toscano Anderson.
He's sick. I slept on him for a while. Oh, really?
Friend Kendall, who does a great job.
But yeah, I just connected with her. She's been killing it.
Yeah, she's awesome. He just wore that Menace jacket the other night, which was perfect.
Yeah, that was the best fit of Game 3. It was, yeah.
Best style. I like Ja's style a lot.
Wait, Ja Morant?
Yeah.
You mean you like Nike sweatsuits?
Well, that's the thing. If it fits the mindset, like Giannis, I think if he wore something crazy, I would be like, you look crazy. He could step it up a little bit, but it's like they're workers, so you wear a worker thing. Also, but when Ja gets hurt, that's what I'm talking about. Like when his fits.
Boom, it's like Atlanta fashion. It's like black ripped Amiri skinny jeans and like a Balenciaga sweater. It's like little baby vibes.
If it fits, it fits. I'm just saying. And
it is him.
Going through. I actually like. Well, that's the thing is I'm not thinking of tunnel outfits necessarily, but Patrick Beverley's been looking really good on the shows lately.
Bro, he has been dressing
loves
up.
Chaos.
Patrick Beverley is actually, that's one of my favorite players because my LA team is the Clippers. Because when I moved here, Pat Bev was on the Clippers and he was my favorite player. I loved Pat Bev. So that's like one of my favorite NBA players. He can actually dress way better than people you would expect. Okay, so we have D-Book, Ja, Juan, Pat Bev.
And to close it out, I will say I need to next time I'm on here, we're doing the all-time list.
Okay.
Because Tim Duncan would be so far ahead of everyone on this list.
Dude, I've been trying to get Tim Duncan on the pod.
That would be epic.
Did you see that post we made on LeagueFits the other day where it was all the Balenciaga stuff and it's literally what he's wearing?
It was hilarious. And so true. He is spectacular.
Yeah, like Justin Bieber wears that stuff today, and they're like fashion god.
You know who probably deserves the spot on the list is Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, he created.
He's like it gets talked about a lot. It's not like a crazy thing, but he really puts the work in.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck.
And Kylie is coming over later to pull some shit. So.
Ooh, that's what's up.
It'll be better soon.
Yeah. Wait, you let other stylists come pull?
Never. I'm giving her all the shitty stuff.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good. I thought it was just me. I thought I was the only one with your address. I was heartbroken. I'm just giving her ugly stuff. I know. Billie Eilish comes over and pulls in YG and all your real famous people. Okay, you could give the all-time list. I feel like we could use a history lesson.
Okay. Tim Duncan, Allen Iverson.
Wow.
No thinking.
Quick answers.
Super quick. I have a bunch of posters up on the wall. That's why I said you had to do it next time because I gotta really.
All right.
Oh, okay, okay.
You just put me right on the spot, but those two definitely are 1 and 2. Not sure which is first, but they changed the rules of dressing based on Allen Iverson.
Yeah, there was a dress code. There was me before COVID happened. We had created like a LeagueFits like studio show that me and Nick Young were doing. We had kind of like wrote the show together, and it was called Dress Code because of Allen Iverson.
That's sick.
Like
Nick Young, one of my all-time favorites.
Nick Young's like the coolest dude to ever live. Kind of problematic, but still cool.
Michael Jordan would also be on that list. He is fits fire.
LeagueFits Hall of Fame.
But yeah, I'm gonna next time.
All right,
go crazy list.
We'll run this back for sure.
Like for part 2.
Hopefully, I did all right.
Yeah, like and subscribe for part 2. But yeah, dude, man, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Of course, this was fantastic.
When I say you're my favorite designer, like I really mean that. You that guy.
That means a lot, and
that's awesome to hear.
I noticed that you didn't mention that.
What was that?
I noticed that you didn't mention that I'm your favorite designer. So.
That's weird. I'm getting a little audio malfunction. Can't really hear what's going on in this episode, but that's interesting.
No, I really.
Episode 74.
Joe, what? No, Joe, you're not getting out of it. Joe, who's your favorite designer? Who do you think is better than Mark?
Like for part 2. We'll reveal that answer in part 2. You guys stay tuned. We got another episode on the way.
Somebody send me your address. We'll get you some pieces.
There we go. Way to persuade me.
But Mark, the pieces that weren't cool enough for me.
Obviously.
There we go.
Don't forget who put the Milwaukee Bucks superstars in.
True.
Nah, you're the man. Appreciate you. Much love, bro.
Appreciate it.
You too.
Go follow Survival of the Fitted wherever you get your podcasts. Tell them that intern Joe sent you. Click the follow button. Go follow Survival of the Fitted.